Apologize to me.
And we are back once again for
Apologize
some.
to me.
What the fuck are you doing? I'm trying to do my introduction, and you're fucking shit up again. What the hell? Why you gotta be like that?
Apologize.
You've been watching one too many scary movies, haven't you? It's not Halloween anymore, man.
All right,
There's no more
introduce.
sinister. I don't know if I can. I think that you've gone and ruined it for us.
Okay,
I don't.
wait.
I don't think that our
I'm,
audience can enjoy themselves anymore. You've completely just backpedaled it and backstabbed them and punched them in the face and the throats and everything that actually matters.
I'm gonna count you down, and then you can go ahead and do your big sigh, and then we can start. Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready.
I don't
Here
know
we
if I
go.
want to do the sigh this time.
You do.
You can't force the
Come
sigh upon me.
on.
That's not just something that I can just break out at any point in time. There's a reason for that.
Don't act like this.
Fine. All right, try it
Three,
again.
2, 1.
And we are back once again for some crazy podcasting goodness. It's three Destinos once again in the podcast studio. We have Lance Farsight with his goddamn bullshit little flower in his hand,
What up?
throwing it at me, bouncing up and down like a little bitch, and all that type of shit. Having a good old time. He can't help himself.
Good to see you, sir.
Yes, it's good to be seen. How are things going with you, my buddy?
Things are going good. You know, another long day. I'm taxed because I have this, and I'm gonna appear like the asshole again. I'm taxed because I have this new puppy, so I have to bring it around everywhere because it's like 5 months old now, and it's too young to be left at home all day yet.
Oh,
So
someone's got a puppy. Someone's got
yeah,
real busy with their puppy. Hey, why did you throw a flower at me?
maybe.
Like, why is there a flower? Why do I have flower in my inventory?
Yep,
All right, what's up?
how it happens,
There
bro.
we go.
Ow.
I attacked you with my flower power.
Ow.
It's all good.
Well, good to see you. Finally made it back to your residence and ready to record.
No one needs to know about how much later we're recording than we generally are. In fact, let's just start off by toasting.
We're early.
Yeah, we usually record at 8. It's like 5:30 p.m. right now. It's totally not way later than it's supposed to be, but whatever. It's all good.
I've never recorded at 6 a.m. before.
Well, we were
Great.
just drinking all night long, and we decided, hey, you know what? Let's try a whole night full of binging and drinking and doing all sorts of crazy bullshit, and then afterwards, we'll worry about doing some podcast goodness. So this is
Yeah, you know what doesn't sound good? Sleeping and not drinking anymore.
oh yeah, those things are never on my list of things to do. So I just opened up my beer. I am drinking the Oktoberfest German style lager, which I'd never seen before, which I picked up at Trader Joe's when I went there with my buddy Mike, Mr. Wonky last night. So I was like, fuck it,
Nice.
I'm gonna kill two birds with one stone. Gonna get me some beer and get ready for some awesomeness. So I've never had this before, so we'll see actually how dark it is as I pour it.
That sounds like one stone and one bird.
No, see, I had to go out and get food, and then Mikey had to go to Trader Joe's, and while he was at Trader Joe's, I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna buy shit right now, so I don't have to do it later. That way,
There you go.
I'm enhanced. It's not a big stone; it's like two small little stones.
Gotcha.
If I had the
Uh,
power, then I'd mesh them together to make one large stone, and then
Gotcha.
I'd pass it. I'd swallow it and try to pass it to my butt.
It's more like a slightly above average stone.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like it's that impressive of a feat, but whatever, no big deal.
Yeah, it's enough to intimidate the other bird into just kind of submitting to the stone throw.
Oh, I love the submission. You know how important submission is to me. Okay, so
The
I'm ready to start the counter. So,
Okay, go.
all right, starting now.
My drunkenness is brought to you by original Belgian wheat beer, Anno 1445, which I would assume means since, and it's
No, that's when it was
Hoegaarden.
bottled, dude. It was totally bottled in 1445.
1445.
That was a good year.
Yeah, they had an impressive ability to label and bottle and write English on these labels.
Nah, dude, the
It's
fermentation
pretty
process,
impressive.
it actually takes a good like 650 years for it to actually, become to fruition. So they had a whole bunch of it, and they're about to run on out, and they bottle it every 100 years, so you have to wait a little bit.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's spelled Hogarden, Hoegaarden,
Why can't that
but
be Hog Garden? Like a pig
uh,
garden, Hog Garden.
well, it could be, but I was looking on the box that it came in because I got a 12 pack because I'm fucking rad like that.
How many have you drunk so
And
far?
4?
Okay, so you're gonna have a good old time by
Not
number
today.
5.
Not
Oh, you didn't
today.
drink them all today so
Four
far?
four of the 12 when I got them, which was 2 days ago. So
Oh, it would have been so much better before we even started podcasting. You've already drunk 4 of them.
yeah,
You're like,
but then
I can't wait to be inebriated as shit.
I wasn't sure if I should betray the listener like that because then they're gonna get 4 and then 10 beer me. They're not gonna get 1 through 6 beer me.
Oh, dude, you certainly don't sound like you're on beer 4 right now. So I don't know if you've actually been listening to our podcast, but you can kind of tell. Well, we've got a couple beers in us. Yeah, we're not sounding as authentically rad as we generally do in the very beginning of it.
Yeah, I hear that I'm a little less clear, and that might be the case now because I do have a little bit of congestion. And California person complaining about weather is what it is, but
We saw
it's
clouds
been
today.
yeah, but it's been really hot out here most of the time, and then it just changed. It was just like, oh, it's gonna be cold, and then it's gonna be windy, and then it's gonna be, and then it's gonna rain a little bit in the morning, and then it's gonna get hot again. So me having natural allergies to winter, like whatever stupid weather shit, yeah, it treats me a little worse than everyone else. But I'm not like sick. I'm just just
Stuffy
on the
nose.
verge. Yeah. So I'm doing what any red-blooded American would do. I'm drinking through it.
And complaining about it.
Yeah.
No, I think that's the more American aspect. But yeah, it's not like we have to go and deal with any hurricanes. It's just it was hot and good weather, and now it's slightly colder weather, and just your ovaries are acting on up, so you don't have the ability to be able to handle that shit. Your ovaries are flaring up. They have
There
those.
should be a monitor for how much my ovaries are acting.
Oh, I think that there is.
There's
Usually, what
an
happens
ovary monitor?
when they reach that threshold, that's what a period is. The ovaries are acting up to such a potential that they actually start overflowing, and then they kind of drain. So that's what the whole PMS aspect is. It's not because of the whole baby thing. It's just they're
What?
draining from too much acting up. They're chock full of acting.
Yeah. Once a month she starts bleeding. It's because she don't know how to act right.
Well, I mean remember, that's when her insanity reaches its peak, and then it just sort of drains away. So there's so much anger that is congealed in her body, and her ovaries are just like throbbing with pain, that they're like, you know what, fuck this shit, I'm just gonna go and shoot it out of me. And it just kind of actually doesn't really shoot, it kind of just dribbles on out.
I
And
like the thought of that because then she'd be like, "It's happening," and I'll be like, "Get your shit together, woman."
I'm so mad right now. I'm like, I can see it, I can smell it, I can tell.
It's not my fault. It is.
If you weren't
Learn.
if you didn't get so pissed off the rest of the goddamn 24 days and just let it go and build on up to this peak, if you're just like a guy, like we don't ever dribble out insanity, none of that bullshit. We actually,
Most of us.
just shoot the insanity inside of the ladies, and then that's how they go and they get filled up. So they get filled up so much quicker because they're like buckets, right?
Yeah, they get a bucket full of insanity, male insanity.
So when you have Susan Powder and she's like, stop the insanity, and she looks like a freaking lesbian, is that what's happening right there?
Yeah, she doesn't want any more because if she gets more of the insanity, then
The
she'll
male
be considered
insanity.
straight.
So girls have a buildup of insanity in their ovaries, and we shoot insanity into them.
Yeah.
Is that what babies are? They're just they're like the insanity fighting each other, and then
When you put it that way, they don't even stand a chance.
no.
Poor women.
That's why we don't get pregnant, because whenever we need to, we just shoot the insanity out of us. Pre-shoot it into little boys, and
we just shoot it out of us.
the insanity is becoming too much. The girls
That's
they're
funny.
trying to reach the insanity.
You can teach your children that expression. Are you getting the insanity out again?
I want to teach you about the birds and the insanity.
Dad, I still got my period, but I shot all my insanity out like once a day.
So what happens with hermaphrodites? Do you think they ever shoot the insanity inside of themselves? They're like, I want to have period twice as often. They want to have it every
I
4
love when I
years.
have me inside me.
I know exactly how to make myself feel good.
That's crazy because if it was close enough, they could like stuff the semi-erect portion in, but then once it got good, it'd pop out, and they're like, oh.
It probably makes a funny little sound, kind of like you ever had those doors that has what is it, like the little springs on the back of it, so that when the door hits it, it goes. So they have when hermaphrodites have sex with themselves, and they start off a little flaccid, and then it goes to full erection because they're just enjoying themselves so much. It goes.
Yeah, it's good stuff. I'm almost certain that happens.
That's exactly what happens.
Yeah, I mean we're acting like it's just fun. It's all funny for us to bring it up and everything, but I'm almost certain that that's what happens.
Oh, I mean, come on. At least every family has at least one hermaphrodite that makes that sound from time to time, right?
Yeah, this is like laugh-ducation. This is entertain-ducation.
You're just saying a lot of Jew stuff. I have no idea why you're so anti-Semite right now.
Jercation?
You're so racist in so many ways. It's pretty disgusting.
It has viable information inside of it as well as entertainment value. How would you say that? It's chock full of awesome. Chock full of man shit.
Jewbakication? I don't know.
Educate. Yeah.
Edumacate.
Edgetastic.
Educatastic. Educatorial. I don't know.
But educatorial, but it sounds like something else. It sounds like you're gonna go into a '50s diner and you're gonna put on a song on the jukebox, but it plays like I'm only a bill, yeah, I'm only a bill, sitting here on Capitol Hill.
Okay, so you're thinking it's gonna do the what is it, the Junction song?
Yeah. That's also.
I don't even remember what originally is called anymore because whenever I think of that, I always think of Consumption Junction, which is definitely not the same. That is
Junction.
Yeah, Consumption Junction, which was that absolutely terrible website back when I was starting off college, which is where I found and saw so many terrible things that just will never leave my mind. Things that are just stuck in my brain that I can never unsee is because of that site. Back before it became just hardcore porn.
Give me an example.
Let's see. Let's go for lots of crazy Asian bullshit, sexual crazy Asian bullshit, as well as guys like nailing nails through their fucking testicles with their dicks ripped off and shit like that.
It's like videos.
Oh yeah, there's tons of videos. There's pictures and there's videos. And Justin, my buddy Justin, and I, we'd go and we both search through it at different varying intervals, like who was actually in school and who wasn't, and we, pretty much whenever you came back into the room, you're like, dude, you got to watch this. And it was pretty much just us trying to gross each other on out for like 2 years, and so it ended up with lots and lots of stuff that are just in my mind that I can never unsee.
So that's for people unlike you. That would be a great thing to do if you were. I was actually thinking if I were evil, what are the kinds of things that I would do to people? That would be a funny thing to do to somebody that was.
Wait, that would be a funny thing? You mean they're going to that site for research purposes?
No, but you'd send them an email and you'd be like, hey, check this out. I think this is going to be good with the report that you're working on. And then they pull it up and that, especially people that don't have our level of tolerance for disgusting things, but especially people who aren't expecting it.
Like, you have a level of tolerance? Mr. I can't handle fart topics.
I'm just not
conversations.
I'm just not evil enough to do certain things. Like, I was thinking that I was actually watching The League, and one of the characters decided to send
Time for beer number two.
Decided to send a stink bomb to one of his buddies as a prank. So he got like milk and he put something else in it and then he shook it up and it's supposed to make it like really rancid in there.
Right.
And then he shipped it to him in a mason jar so that when he received it, he would open it and it would basically be this disgusting thing that it would take days to get out of his house. And there's stuff like that if I were evil, I would do that. But because I'm not, you're not going to receive a stink bomb mail is what I'm saying.
Why don't you like me? It's not my house, dude. I'm about to move on out. So.
Yeah, I mean, if within the next just tell me when you're planning on moving out, and I'll send
December
it over with
1st.
your name on it,
December
and
1st. On
I'll send
December
it.
2nd, I have it go and say Decameron Pillars. I'm like, Mike, open it up for me.
I'll say, Mike, do not open, and he'll totally open it.
He'll be like, what
Uh,
is this? What could it be? Come on. It couldn't be anything that crazy, could it?
I mean, those things are pretty aggressive. But even like mild things that'll mess with your mind, like those free giveaway places, like when you go into the mall and they say win this car or win a free vacation to Aruba or whatever, or
You
when
poured
you
your
go
second
to
beer, right?
games. Yeah, well,
Okay.
yeah.
We have 9 minutes left for beer number 2.
When they give all those free giveaways, or when you go into a movie theater and they say spin this thing and sign up your email and you can win a free whatever, those things are spam. I mean, they want to get your information and then they want to call you if you leave your number. They want to email you if you leave your email. But it would be great if you had specific information from somebody and you would always sign up. You always go to the mall and sign up like Canon for X amount of things. So he always gets emails. He always gets phone calls. He can change his number and you're just going to go sign him up for more shit. And he never understands why he's getting all this stuff.
Well, especially if you know all his email addresses, so you sign up for every one of them, and he just
Yeah, and
gets
his like
spam out
actual
the ass.
address. So he gets like he gets mail, email, phone calls, text messages. He gets everything. You could even do those if you had his cell phone or something, when it says text 4567 with your answer to blah blah. You could do that if you just like took his phone real quick. Then he would always get text messages and messed up shit.
Well, you could probably
There's a
just
bunch of
remember
stuff
those
you could do.
numbers if you had those numbers and just text them at any time. Because those numbers are probably good for all times. Like going and
Yeah,
texting 43218 or whatever the hell it is. It's not like just because during that radio show or during that event or during that anything it actually works. Is probably at all times, anytime you text that, and immediately catches it and then has like a response that is already dedicated for it.
yeah, absolutely. No, I totally agree. I was thinking
That sounds like a wicked app.
along those lines of the texting. I was thinking that the best way, it would be like implausible deniability, where you would get your friends or well, in this case possibly your friends if you're an asshole, their information, like their financial information, like their credit card information or their debit card information, and then you would buy stuff when you go and visit their house. You would buy stuff from their computer and send it to their house, like expensive shit, and then they wouldn't be able to say no, I didn't order this, and make sure it's like limited time or no return stuff. So he's stuck with it, spent a bunch of money, and there's no way he can prove that he didn't do it.
Just going through that entire thing, it's like, what the fuck, man?
He
Let's
gets a
say,
big bronze statue of Boba Fett delivered to his front porch, and he's like, I did not order this. Like, it's first of all, it's custom made, and it has all your financial information from you. We can track it, but it was purchased from your what's that number called that's your computer identifies your computer or whatever.
your IP.
It has your IP, it has your financial information, it has all your stuff. I mean, there's no returning this stuff. That's it. He's out. It'd be
Ah.
crazy customized.
At that point, you just tell the bank, that was not me. And they're like, oh, there's fraud purposes. And all sorts of bullcrap. Like, change all my numbers, change everything. I need a completely new identity for everything because someone's buying me Boba Fett super badass shit. Like, maybe you just buy it and you have it in your house for, you have a 30-day return policy and you have it up to like day 27. You're like, yeah, I don't think I can have Boba Fett in my house anymore as a bronze statue as much as I want to. And even though I like to go and rub up against it at night when no one else is looking, yeah, I don't think that I can actually have this in my room readily and available.
All the
And just
time.
return it.
Yeah, I
Because people
agree.
do that kind of shit all the time, where they'll just say that they've, they'll call up insurance or they'll call up like fraud. They'll go and they'll do a bunch of small stuff, then they'll order one big thing and say it never actually showed on up. Like they order a computer, and they'll just call up and say like there was fraud, but they'll actually keep it. People do weird shit like that.
Did they get away with that?
I think not as much as you would expect them to. I think it depends on the amount. I think that
Well,
if it's
worst
like
case scenario. You have to pay for the thing that you have.
Well, no. If you go and you report something stolen and you actually have it, it's a little bit more than just you like, yeah, you actually have to go and pay for that. If you go and you like, you have 100 transactions at $15 to $20, and then out of nowhere you have one of those transactions where it's like $3,000, and most banks now are kind of like they do on the lines of going, "Hey, did you actually order this? This
Nice.
is against what you usually order. Is this okay? Did you actually order this?" Because I think a lot of people do that whole, "Oh, I didn't do it," but they actually have it.
Oh, nice. And you're like, hell no, I didn't.
Well, I mean, what was it? Just the other day, like a week and a half ago, I was trying to go and pay like some server shit off. Actually, pay for this server that we're currently on right now. One of those
Bam.
types of things, making a server payment, and it was like all together, it was about $1,000 for all my different various servers that I have to pay for across the country.
Uh huh.
And so I went and paid it off, and I could not pay it off. It would not allow me to pay it off. It went and set out flags, and they're like, "No, you can't pay this. It wasn't authorized." And it took me like I actually ended up going having to like get on the phone and yell at people because they just wouldn't let me fucking pay for my shit.
Nice. Like, no, it's me. I need this money to go through right now.
Well,
So,
it's like my bank goes and calls me up and goes, "Hey, call back this number and use this ID so that you can go and you can talk to a representative about this." And I call them on up and I give them that ID. They're like, "Yeah, we don't have any of that shit on file." I'm like, "What do you mean?" Like, "Yeah, we don't have it on file at all that we called you or anything like that. We also don't have it on file that that transaction even tried to go through." And so I'm just getting,
wow.
like it's just not they're not talking to each other at all to the point that I actually had to go down to the branch to actually go and get it resolved. It was kind of fucking dumb and annoying. It's
That's poop.
wasted lots of hours just so I can fucking pay off my shit.
This looks really cool. I'm looking down to the bottom of our deluxe studio that you so kindly assembled. Looks
Yeah, that
cool.
only took me a long time. It
I
only
would
took me the
imagine.
span of a long time to do that, to dig all the way down because this was actually completely solid, pretty much.
Kind of surprised that it's still intact because this glass is so temperamental. It just goes away. Most
It,
other
well,
blocks just regenerate, but the glass just goes away. It goes away.
well, as long as you don't fucking attack it, you're usually pretty fine.
You should be good. But there's other blocks that have just glitched out. I would imagine. I think they've just glitched out, just moved over or something, or just gone away.
No, that's Enderman. Endermans go and they pick it on up and they put it down somewhere else.
Stupid
But
Endermen are taking the shit.
hey, I don't see them in here. They're not in here, so they're not taking my shit away. So it's all good.
True.
Anyways, so yeah, fucking all that type of bullshit. But there is a very important topic that I want to talk to you about.
Uh oh.
Very important.
Should I drink?
I don't know. Hold on one second. Let's see how much time we have left. Oh, we have 1:45, and I have half a beer left, which is
Mm.
not cool for me. Do you want to go first? You want me to go and bring up the topic, and then you can drink, and then I'll.
You bring up the topic, I'll drink, and then I'll talk about the topic before you even get to talk about it.
Okay.
That's gonna
So,
be good.
all right, I think that it'll make for an interesting time. So, what's the deal with I can't even fucking remember it anymore. So, what's the deal with cannibalism?
Okay, drink. That's weird. Um, well, it turns out that a lot of series and stuff like that have been created based on cannibalism, and it's a popular thing. It was sensationalized by zombie movies and even by
Sensationalized.
even by Dracula, like vampire movies, is a form of cannibalism. So, if you're talking about how like mainstream that kind of thing has become, or how awesome it is, or how enviable it is, I'm just talking about my house. Then that's why, because
I have one more step.
when
Hold on.
white teenagers that are skinny and in shape get together and they make a movie series based off of a shitty book into a shitty movie series, then that kind of thing gets on the news and gets in the papers and gets in, if anyone still reads a newspaper. For those of you who don't know what a newspaper is, it's like a blog, except it's printed out.
That sounds crazy. Okay, time for beer number 3.
shit. Okay, tell me what you were gonna say about that.
It wasn't more along the lines of why there's cannibalism in actually like the news articles and things of that nature. It was more along the lines of how does that get started? Like, for people, actual real cannibals, for people out there who actually enjoy eating the meat of people.
Not those
Like,
fake ones.
well, I mean, not like, we're talking about Twilight or some bullshit like that, or, The Walking Dead or a movie. Like, people who actually get all excited and like want to go and eat people, and they go and they murder people and slaughter people and actually devour their flesh and cook it on up and things like that.
I
How does
like
that
how you're
start?
describing what a cannibal is,
Well, I mean,
just in case.
just in case for those out there, like, I want to kind of like either talk about like people that just normally just devour flesh, and other ones that actually like cook it on up, the kind of like the various aspects of it. I want to know whether or not, like, what really happened was Ryan and I were driving around, and I asked him, is like when guys and girls are going on out, in their
Uh
teenage years, and a guy goes down on a girl and she's on her period, and she actually is menstruating, and he gets like a taste of the blood, whether or not that's like the gateway drug to cannibalism.
oh.
So that's where that whole entire thing came from, is whether or not, like, a guy eating out a girl on her period, and that's like the gateway drug to kind of get him started, and like, wow, I love this coppery taste. It's so amazing. I want more. Oh man,
That's
this is
good.
tasty and delicious. I wonder if I just sort of nibbled on her labia majora and kind of got crazy on that, and maybe and started ingesting it and getting inside of me. Like, whether or not, how does that all happen? Is it, I know that there's those situations like in the movie Alive, where people are stranded and they have nothing to eat, and they're forced to do it based off of being they have nothing, like, if they want to survive, they have no choice in the matter. And then there's the people that seek it on out, like they actually, like, they want to eat people. They have all the food in the world. They have banana trees, they have everything out front, they have, they can go to the store, they can pick it on up, but it just doesn't have that flavor that
First of all,
monsters
Lady
bring.
Majora, hilarious. I don't even know what that means, but I got your like kind of coded meaning behind it. I feel like I
You
know
don't
what
know
you
what the
mean, but I
labia
don't.
majora is?
Oh, I thought you said Lady Majora.
No, I said labia majora. I'm like, what? You don't know what that is? Are you kidding me?
I'm pretty well. I don't know the name for it. I just call it the. I just call it the
Clitoris.
the oh
The
yeah
naughty bits, the female naughty
the
bits.
the don't touch because that's what women call it evidently.
Don't touch it. Don't touch it. I can't help myself. I'm touching it.
So, yeah, Lady Majora sounded hilarious, but yeah, I have heard the term labia.
Oh man, what if we went in like next Halloween, like, oh, you are the Lady Majora.
I can definitely see that coming up. Second of all, I don't think it's necessarily a gateway to if it were
I like
if
the
I'm
idea of it
taking
being a
it
gateway drug.
seriously. If I'm taking it seriously, I don't think it's necessarily a gateway to cannibalism. I would think it would be a gateway towards people who, what is it, goth or something, whatever it's called, to actually start consuming blood, which is very dangerous, by the way.
No,
If
it's kind
there's
of like being a
anyone,
vampire.
if there's
Yeah,
anyone under the that's under a certain discretionary age, and even if you're older, I mean, even if you're like 50 and you're like, oh, drinking blood sounds cool, it's not, and coming into contact with blood um, or even like
fluids.
yeah, any bodily fluids of a person is really bad, but blood is a specific uh, danger, I think, because it can like contaminate your bloodstream even faster, and has all kinds of nonsense in it. Can't you get like disease, can't you pass on a zillion different things? Well, not literally, but hundreds of thousands of different diseases that you can't contract any other way, but you touch someone else's blood and it gets into your bloodstream. That's over, right?
Yeah, man, you don't want to fuck with people's blood. Well, unless
Literally.
well, if you're a cannibal and you cook it first, you're making some delicious human steaks, then you don't have to worry about that situation. Once you
Do
got it
you
all,
purify?
yeah. Once you go and you fire it up for a bit, all those tasty
and absolutely destructive, parasites are getting destroyed. I don't know. Is human meat one of those types of things that you don't actually need to marinate? It's just you just crave that taste so badly and so much that the idea of adding another type of marinade to it in any way, shape, or form rather than just human blood is just disgusting.